tossed like wind in our sails. Hold on tight, I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us if we just hold on tight. This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn.
Hello everyone, my name is Joelle. I am a 23-year-old living in the Ozarks of Missouri, and today's video is going to be a Q&A and a giveaway as a thank you for 1,000 subscribers. So I'm going to get into answering some of the questions I have got. The first question was, how do you observe the Sabbath? So for our family, it's looked slightly different over the years. We have observed a Saturday Sabbath for, I just realized I started knitting wrong. We have observed a Saturday Sabbath for probably about 12 years now. And it has morphed for us as we've learned different things, as our life has changed. But what it currently looks like for us is from sundown Friday night to sundown Saturday night, we do not do any work. We do feed our animals, of course. I've had people ask that if we take care of our animals, and yes, we do take care of our animals on that day. We try to prepare so that it's as little work as possible on Shabbat, and just little things like making sure that we have food prepared for the next day so we don't have to cook, making sure that, you know, the coffee maker is filled with coffee beans, water, all of that. I try to make sure that the straining stuff is ready to strain the milk on the Sabbath, preferably before the Sabbath. So we just try to do as little work as possible on Saturday, and trying to think, sometimes you get so used to doing something, it's hard to remember what's different because it just feels so normal to you. So yeah, I'd say that's the main thing, is making sure that we have everything ready. We try to keep it a bit quieter. We don't do anything, even like right now, I am knitting, and we do craft or knit on the Sabbath, but we purposely do not make anything to sell on the Sabbath. We don't sell things on the Sabbath. We don't make things to sell on the Sabbath. And we try to make it special. It's supposed to be a feast day and a day of rest. So we often take naps on the Sabbath and read books, study the Bible, that sort of thing. The next question was, are you off-grid / do you cook both outside and inside? We are not off-grid. We're living in 2 tiny cabins right now while we renovate an old milk barn to be our house. So while we were waiting on that, we cook a lot outside, and also my mom just loves cooking outside. So we are not off-grid, but some of our videos make people wonder if we are, just because we are outside so much. When we started out, we had only one outlet in the barn, and so we kind of had our coffee maker there, refrigerator there, that kind of stuff. But now that we have more electricity throughout the barn, we have a stove in there, we have fridges, freezers, all that kind of stuff. But we tend to cook outside a lot still. So the answer to me, are we off-grid? No. Do we cook outside and inside? Yes, we do. Especially in the summer, we don't want the heat inside of the barn. It just gets way too hot. So we tend to cook outside, over the campfire, or on our griddle, or on the grill. What have you been reading? I have been reading a lot of books lately at the same time, because I'm just at a stage in life where I'm very busy, and also we're living we have a lot of our stuff in storage right now because it just doesn't fit in our tiny cabins. So I am currently reading Armadale by Wilkie Collins on Kindle, and I'm really enjoying that. I actually started to read it a year ago, last May, and I was loving it, but it was on my phone, and my phone just quit working. And so then I needed to re-download it on my iPad, and I didn't do that until recently. So I've just started over from the beginning, and I'm rereading it for the most part, and I'm really enjoying that. I am also reading, what is it called? I'm also reading the Sugar Creek Gang to my younger siblings, so that one's kind of an ongoing read. I typically have a Sugar Creek Gang book going because I'm working on reading through the series with my siblings, and currently, I can't remember the one we're currently on. Sugar Creek Shenanigans, I believe it is. I'm not sure. This next question is a bit of a longer one. It says, I'd like to know, if it isn't too personal, more about your lifestyle, your social life, and dating opportunities. I know that has been an issue for our homeschooled, homestead lifestyle family. This one's kind of a hard question. Social, I feel like, is very easy. I don't think we've really ever had a problem with that. We've gone to Bible studies. We've invited families over. When friends are traveling who live out of state, we've always offered our place for them to stay. And so social, I feel like that's very easy. Dating or courting is a little bit harder. My sisters and I, we don't want to just date. We want to only be in a relationship with someone that we could see ourselves marrying. And I will just say there are not very many guys, feels like anywhere. We joke that 20 to 30-year-old men have gone extinct because we've had a lot of friends and family try to find someone for us, and they're like, we can't think of anyone. There is no one. And in a way, that's kind of reassuring because it makes us know that it's not just in our community. I feel like there are a lot more girls than there are guys, and especially once you hit the age of about 18, it seems like it's almost all girls. So for social, that's very easy. For marriage or dating, not so much. But I do know that I do trust God and believe that, I mean, it's not that hard for him to, he literally works miracles. And it's not that hard or impossible of an idea for him to bring the right spouse to us. We're not living in some little island in the middle of nowhere. And even if we were, he could still bring the right man or wife for one of my brothers. People give suggestions all the time, saying that we girls should get on a dating app. We should move out on our own because they think that maybe the guys are just afraid of our dad or dads in general. That people are afraid that you're not independent enough if you're not out on your own. All of the advice, people saying maybe you're overlooking someone, maybe you're too picky. And I've thought about those questions a lot, and I've decided I don't want to move out. At least not now, not in the last 5 years have I wanted to move out. If a guy can't ask my dad, or if he's afraid of my dad, quite frankly, I don't want to marry him, because that's not the kind of husband I'm looking for. And I don't really, for many reasons, financial and otherwise, I don't see how it makes any sense for me to move out on my own. So unfortunately, I don't really have much of an answer there for you. As to the dating aspect, I have a lot of friends who are still single, and I have a lot of friends who are married, newly married, some of them with a couple children, all within 5 years of my age, older or younger. So, and also I've realized older I've gotten, I used to think it was more so because of the kind of guys we were looking for, Christian, more conservative, thought that maybe that was why it was so hard to find someone. But the older I've gotten, the more I've realized, I've talked to a lot of people, Christian and otherwise, in many different places, and they have experienced the same struggles. So I think it's just, relationships in general are hard, especially when you're looking for someone to be with for life, ideally. And it's not like we just stay here away from everybody. We have gone to churches, many fellowships, homesteading events, all places we've made a ton of great friends. But as for the person that we want to marry, any of us, we have not found that yet, and we're just trusting God in that. because he's done so many things and this is not something hard for him. And I believe that he has a purpose. And I'm enjoying this time with my younger siblings and with my friends' babies. The last question was, do you ever plan to travel internationally? Now, do I want to travel internationally? Yes, I would love to do that. I'd love to visit Ireland, Italy, possibly Greece, definitely Scotland. There's a lot of places I would love to visit, but partly due to financial reasons and also just getting things done, I don't have any actual plans to go. I would really love to travel someday, but I don't have any distinct plans. I have traveled a lot the last year, domestically, more than I ever have in probably my entire life. I've spent several weeks in Iowa, Indiana, Georgia, not weeks in Georgia actually, in Alabama, spent a lot of time with different friends and family, and that has been really nice. I actually took my first flight a few months ago, and I always thought that my first flight would be somewhere international just because I wanted to travel so much, but it ended up being a domestic flight. And I will say, when the time came for me to go on the flight, I was very glad it was such a short flight and not going overseas. But after it was over, I was like, I could do that again. It wasn't as bad as I expected. Alright, so now details for the giveaway. I was originally only going to do one giveaway, but I decided that was too small. I wanted more than one person to win. So I have now made 2 giveaway packages, and I will show you what's in them. So the first giveaway is a book. A few people asked for a book as part of the giveaway. So I have this Whitman classic of Beautiful Joe, and I also made this scarf. It's 100% wool, and you can use it as a head scarf, a neck scarf. There's lots of ways you can wear it. I'll try to put in some pictures. I don't know, I'm going to try to get this video up tomorrow because it's already been so delayed. This is the first. And the last thing is a box of green tea mochi. I actually tried to get my favorite flavor, the coconut pandan mochi, but the store is about to close and I just grabbed them off the shelf and then later realized I actually got green tea. So I hope you like green tea, but I do have a package of green tea mochi, and if this isn't something you're open to trying, just let me know and I won't include it as part of the package. But if you want to try it, or if you already love mochi, then this will be included. The next thing in the giveaway is you will get to choose 2 bars of soap from our soap company. My mom makes most of the soap, and she made both of these. So I pulled out some of my favorites to show you. You will get to choose whatever scent you like for both of the bars. They could be the same or different. You can choose any 2 that are on the website. So I have one of my favorites here, Fresh Citrus. This has lemon, orange, and grapefruit essential oils. So it smells super bright and just really good. I love that one. Another one of my favorites is Perfection Tea. This one has peppermint, lemongrass, and basil. Another one of my favorites is the Manly. It has fir needle, cedarwood, and orange essential oils. This is a very nice, more earthy, foresty smell. I really like that one. This is the first giveaway package. 2 bars of soap, Beautiful Joe, a green tea mochi, a 100% wool scarf that I made. The second giveaway package is another package of the green tea mochi, if you would like it. 2 bars of your choice of the soap, a pink scarf. This is another, I still need to weave in the ends. I just recently finished this, but this one is really pretty. I don't know what kind of yarn this is. It was a secondhand yarn, but it's probably, I think my mom and I decided it's probably a cotton, maybe a cotton linen blend. We're not really sure. But it's a very pretty pink color with little flecks of cream and occasionally a little bit of brown, but very little brown. So this one's a bit more of a lightweight option. The other one is in worsted weight, and this one is in a fingering weight. So it's a little bit more summery, or if you live in a hot climate like in Texas, then you may like this one. And the book for this giveaway, because I had to include books, is A Chance to Die, The Story of Amy Carmichael by Elizabeth Elliot. And I think that I was trying to find something that you guys would like. Several of you requested something I knit or crocheted. One of you requested a scarf. Several of you said something cozy and requested books, specifically a children's book. So I put together those suggestions, and I really hope that you guys like this giveaway. I didn't want to make it anything complicated, so if you will just leave me a comment with your preference of boxes. Whoever I draw first, if they have a preference, they will get to choose it. If you don't have a preference, you can just say either. But I will draw 2 giveaway winners on the 25th. Giveaway is open until the 25th. And I will draw 2 winners. If you have a preference listed in your comment, then I will give you your preference of the 2. And if you both have the same preference, whoever I draw first will get their choice. Just leave a comment letting me know which one you would like and if you are entering. And that is it. If you could share your favorite video for my channel with anyone you know, that would be very helpful and appreciated, but it is not required. Make sure that you are subscribed so that when I share the giveaway winner that you will see it. To enter, I wanted to keep it really simple because this is a gift to you and not just to gain followers. So if you just make sure you're subscribed so you see the notification, and leave a comment letting me know if you have a preference in which of the boxes, with your preference if you have a preference in one of the 2 boxes. If you could share this video or one of your favorite videos with someone, I would greatly appreciate that, but it's not a requirement for the giveaway. That's all for this video, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you, and shalom.